Well, the founder of the mobile phone retailer Phones for You is John Caudwell. He's also a Conservative donor, and he joins us. Good afternoon.
Hello, how are you?
Very well. How do you feel about the idea of further restrictions, particularly across the north of Britain?
Well, I question the whole strategy because the death rate now to cases is less than 0.4%, which is no more than flu. Now, of course, in saying that, I'm not saying it's more deadly than flu or less deadly than flu. I don't know that. That's for the epidemiologists. But the statistics speak for themselves. The 0.4% death rate to cases is no worse than flu in a bad season. So why are we shutting the world down? Now, we can easily see why we did it in April, because there was a lot of aged and vulnerable people, and we didn't know how this virus was going to behave, and it was 18% death to cases. So we can easily see why we shut it down in April and why we had to continue that shutdown until we'd learned sufficiently about the epidemiology and the danger of the disease and protected the old and vulnerable.
OK, but we're in a situation now where you're a businessman. Let's imagine that you have the ear of the government. The scientists also have the ear of the government, of the Prime Minister, and they're saying what they're saying, which is lockdown, we need this. What would you as a businessman say to the Prime Minister?
Well, there's a lot of scientists that are saying completely the opposite to that there should not be a lockdown, that we should protect the old and vulnerable, and that we should carry on as normal, and that would be my message as well. But equally importantly, we desperately need Caudwell pandemic recovery, investment in the economy, which I call CPR, to get this economy back on fire over the next few years. And if we don't do that, then I'm afraid we're in for a decade of very, very poor performance for the UK.
OK, so CPR, Caudwell pandemic recovery, what does it involve?
It involves four major components. Apprenticeship schemes for 1 million people with all the country's leading businesses and across all sectors. Investment in all infrastructure, roads, rail, fibre optic, schools, hospitals, etc. A investment in renewable energy so that we become the world leader in not only the technology of renewable energy, but also the production, the productivity of it, so that we can export our products all over the world. And finally, but very importantly, a real attraction to foreign companies to come and relocate on British shores, which of course has always gone on, but was restricted by Europe. And now we ought to really go out and fight to bring companies to our shores. OK, and
would you expect to have seen something on this so far, or do you accept, look, all in good time, there will be something soon, a longer-term vision and strategy from the government?
Well, I'm afraid I would absolutely have expected to see it now, because this is not something that you can just implement when you click your fingers. It's not just a matter of the money. It's a matter of building up the expertise, building up the strategy, and then starting to implement it. And that implementation will take years in itself. We need to start yesterday, not tomorrow. So, yes, I'm afraid I would have expected a lot more on pandemic recovery by now. And I'm fearful that it's not going to happen.
You're fearful it's not going to happen. I was going to say you're a long-time supporter of the Conservatives. I think you've donated
No, I don't know where you've got that from at all. No, I'm not a long-term supporter of the Conservative Party at all.
But you have donated to them.
I donated in December because I was so fearful of Corbyn and McDonnell getting in and their policies and strategies.
Apologies.
So it was a one-time
of
investment.
£500,000. But I wonder, is that the end of it? Are you so disappointed with the handling that you couldn't support them further?
Well, I can't say that, but what I can say is that I'll always support any political party that I believe has got the right values and the right strategies going forward to keep Great Britain great. I'm extremely patriotic. I want Britain to prosper, and I will support any party that I believe has got the right policies. And I wouldn't rule out Conservatives.
And does this, you wouldn't rule them out, but does this government, what you're seeing at the moment, have the right values and priorities?
Well, I think Boris has been under massive duress from lots of different fronts, and I think in some ways he's done a good job, but I think in other ways that the Conservative Party could have done more, and I am desperate to see them do something on Caudwell pandemic recovery. Call it what you will, but it's that type of recovery programme that needs announcing, and that needs driving forward immediately.
John.
But I would also like to see a change in strategy, that we start living with this virus without all these curfews and lockdowns, build up herd immunity and continue to protect the elderly and the frail.
John Caudwell, thank you.